Alright, welcome back to the channel, my friends. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and today we're taking a look at this week's pre-orders, and they are live. This video is sponsored by CMO Games. More on that later. Alright, so here we have our Saturday pre-orders. Getting started here with the exclusive Aberrant Ghoul King with Crown of Delusion. So this is a pretty cool model overall. 35 bucks. I like it. I'm not a huge fan for actual gameplay, but I think this would be like super cool for a diorama or display piece. It's definitely pretty neat. I like the sort of like stone throne and all the details, little skulls and rib cages down at his feet. Pretty cool overall. Nice looking model right here. Keep in mind too, if you are interested in this model, it's only available between Saturday the 7th of January and Monday the 16th of January. Now, it is one of those made-to-order special order items. So there's up to 180 days for Games Workshop to deliver this. So about 6 months on the long end. Now, it could come in a month. So overall, pretty cool. I do like the commemorative series models. This one is pretty neat. I could see this being pretty popular. And because it is a limited model, I'm sure it'll hold its value pretty well also. Alright, and then next we've got our Space Marine Battle Forces. So we have 4 new Space Marine Battle Forces. Suddenly everything just making a little bit more sense as we saw the initial 2 Battle Forces were Space Marines for Christmas and then 4 more to follow. I suspect what happened was Games Workshop was expecting to release all 6 of the Space Marine Battle Forces either with the Christmas Battle Forces or afterwards, and then realized it would actually just make a lot more sense to do a couple of them with the Christmas Battle Forces so that you have at least some Space Marines so people aren't wondering what the heck is going on, and then the other 4 afterwards so that you don't just have too many all at once, because there was already 8 Battle Forces for 40k, and having another 4 on top of that would make it 12 Battle Forces then, and then on top of that you have the 7 Sigmar Battle Forces, and the Astra Militarum and Chaos just came out, so that's like 21 box sets all right at the same time. So I suspect what they did was figure they would trail these a couple weeks and then also line these up with the new rules changes and everything, as they have greatly benefited Space Marines. So now suddenly it creates extra demand after maybe what you would have already purchased. So overall, I think it was a pretty good marketing strategy. And now let's talk about the actual contents. So they're all 210 bucks. We did an individual breakdown for the viability of the army, the points, and then the savings overall. And the truth is, now some things have changed. We had already suspected or heard that Armor of Contempt might be going away. But now, actually, I think the box set that benefits the most from the changes is actually Salamanders. And it's no surprise, I was pretty critical of this one because it comes with 20 Intercessors. But that being said, this box actually just got a lot better. And I know what you're thinking. Yeah, because Intercessors got a lot better. But that's not actually why. In my opinion, the reason this box is suddenly better is this right here. The upgrade frame that comes with the Salamanders has this cool little flame piece on it. It comes with the little flame pistol, but most importantly, comes with a Thunderhammer. So if we just take a look at that upgrade sprue, we'll see it has 3 of the aggressor style shoulder pads, and then we see it has another 5 and then a special one of the regular Primaris Marine shoulder pads. But then we see it has that flame pistol, and then most importantly, it has the Thunderhammer. And the reason I say most importantly is Thunderhammers are going to be in like massive shortage, because the truth is every single Intercessor squad or Assault Intercessor squad or pretty much anybody that can take a Thunderhammer now gets those upgrades for free. So you're going to put Thunderhammers on literally anyone you can. And unfortunately, the way Games Workshop made their kits and the way they make their quote unquote like rules, when the Space Marine kit came out for the regular Intercessors, at the time, the Sergeants couldn't actually buy any upgrades like Thunderhammers or Power Fists or anything like that. And because Games Workshop was confused and didn't realize why nobody wanted to use their brand new shiny toys, that's when they realized, oh, it's because you can't take good weapons on your Sergeant. So they later changed the rules so you could actually take like Power Fists and Thunderhammers and stuff like that on your Sergeants. Unfortunately, the Intercessor sprues had already come out by then, so there was no actual Sergeant upgrades on the Intercessor sprues. So if you want to take actual Intercessors and have access to Thunderhammers or Power Fists or any of that stuff, you're going to need some kind of like upgrade frame or some other kits or bits, or in this case, you have the Salamanders upgrade frame, which is really nice. So because you get 2 of them in this set, that gives you 2 of the Thunderhammers that you're going to put on at least 2 of the Sergeants, which is pretty good. And again, just makes the Salamander box a little bit better. I don't think people are going to be out here spamming ridiculous amounts of Intercessors because it no longer costs points for all the unit upgrades in your squads. You're going to want to take small squads and just completely kit them out when it comes to Sergeant upgrades and stuff like that. So I think the Salamanders box set actually got a lot better. Now, do I think you're going to use 20 Intercessors? No, I think it's still way too many. And honestly, if they didn't come with Thunderhammers in the Salamander upgrade sprue, I don't think this really would have gotten much better at all. But as far as I know, the Salamanders upgrade is the only one that has a Thunderhammer in it. I believe the Imperial Fist upgrades have Power Fist also, which is pretty nice. Not quite as good, but pretty nice. But the truth is, now the Assault Intercessor sprue is going to be exponentially better because the Assault Intercessor kit has the sprue with a Thunderhammer, a Power Fist, a Power Sword, all that stuff. So essentially, for every 5 Assault Intercessors you have, you can now equip like 3 Sergeants with one of those special weapons. So these are pretty good deals. We did the breakdown on them, some better than others. If you haven't checked out the individual box breakdowns for all of the Christmas Battle Forces and Space Marine Battle Forces, definitely check those out in the other videos. See what kind of savings. Overall, they're all right around like 30 to 35% discount off MSRP. So next we have a little boarding actions bundle here. So this right here is a mistake in my opinion. It's $270 for this set. So $210 for the actual boarding actions terrain, and then another $60 for the book. Obviously, we can just scroll down and see that. So there's 0 savings in that bundle. You just only have to add 1 thing to your cart instead of 2. The Arks of Omen Abaddon Collector's Edition book, $90 for that. Pretty cool if you're into the collector stuff, obviously. We know that's probably going to sell out. The collector stuff almost always does. But now let's talk about this setup right here. So I had discussed in a previous video how actually like playing Arks of Omen is not going to cost me much money because I already have both of the Kill Team box sets, Into the Dark and Shadow Vaults. So I really just need the book for $60 and I have plenty of models to play with. But if you were going to get started with Arks of Omen and you didn't have the Kill Team sets or the terrain, you would have to spend $210 up front plus $60 for the book. So you're talking about $270. I think people are a lot less likely to play. I think what they should have done, they should have sold this boarding action set, all the terrain, and included the Arks of Omen book in it. That would have been $150 for the terrain and still like the $60 for the book. I think that would have been a much smarter decision, and I think people would be much more likely to, kind of branch out into this if they could do it for about $200. But I think 270 is a little much for most people. Obviously, lots of other people already have one set or both sets of the terrain. There's still plenty of ways to get terrain third party cheaper than this, or at least competitive. So if you do already have one set of terrain, you could just buy one more set of terrain and then the Arks of Omen book. So there's definitely some options out there depending on your situation. But the truth is, I think 270 to get people to jump into boarding actions is a little bit much. They should have kept it closer to like 210. Now, if you're in Europe or UK, the gap is not nearly as much, so it makes a lot more sense. But for United States people, I think this is going to kill a lot of the excitement. It's also sort of a weird situation because a lot of people bought Kill Team Into the Dark and then couldn't get a hold of Shadow Vaults but would have bought it. So they would be in the same situation with me if they could get it, where they could just pay $60 and have everything else in the set. So unfortunately, they feel like they've not only missed out on Shadow Vaults, but now they're in a weird situation where they have the short end of the stick to play boarding actions because they would have bought the Shadow Vault set and had the second set of terrain. Instead, they have half of what you need for the terrain. So in my opinion, not the best decision here. All right, and then moving on, we see the Black Legion dice set. So I actually do like these dice. You can see from this picture, they are a little bit difficult to read. They look cool overall, but obviously this is a complete ripoff. $35 for these dice. So they dropped the price down a couple bucks. Unfortunately, not only did they drop the price, they also dropped how many dice you get in the set now. So now you only get 15 dice in the set instead of 18 or 20. So in my opinion, this is a complete mistake and a complete ripoff. Total shrinkflation. You have decreased the price of the overall box of dice by a couple bucks, and then you've taken away 25% of the dice. So they don't add up. If they would have decreased the price of the dice by 25% and then you get 25% less dice, there's a net no change. So that would have been, I guess, okay. And then you could just buy multiple sets if you want more dice than that. but the fact that they have lowered the price slightly and then lowered the dice count substantially really just grinds my gears. And now a quick message from this week's sponsor. This video is sponsored by CMOGames.com, where you can get 15% off most Games Workshop pre-orders, and they go live right at midnight Saturday mornings. CMOGames.com offers free shipping on orders over $25 in the US 48, and most orders ship within 24 hours. CMOGames.com has been selling Games Workshop products online for more than 20 years, and customer service is their top priority. CMOGames.com carries the full line of Games Workshop products, including 40k, Age of Sigmar, Kill Team, Warcry, paints, hobbies, and tools. Visit CMOGames.com using the affiliate link in the description below so they know you heard about CMOGames.com from Warhammer Man Studios. Now, back to the video. So next we have the chapter approved Arks of Omen Grand Tournament Mission Pack. So this is a big one. This will sell out. In the past, these have been tough to get a hold of if you didn't grab your copy right away, as essentially everybody's going to need one if they're going to play like the current rules / like Ark of 40k. So $30 for this. It is just a small book. It has tons of cool rules, missions, all kinds of stuff in there, the new detachment. So you are going to need this if you want to stay up to date on 40k. $30 for that. I picked that up. We'll talk about that when it comes. And then next we have the Killzone Mercury Exultant map. These are always super cool, nice quality, and sell out pretty quickly. So if you are into this type of like collector's thing, or you want to hang it up on your wall, I would not hesitate on this. So $65 for that. Super cool. These are always very limited. Comes in a nice box and everything. Pretty neat. I like it. All right, and then we've got a couple of books here. So we have the Mortis paperback, $9.99. We have the Blood Bowl Match Play Guide, $15. We have the Assassinorum Kingmaker paperback, $16. We have the Wrath of the Lost hardback, $27. And then we've got some leftover Hobbits and Lord of the Rings stuff from last week. And then we also have the Space Marine Heroes 2023 Blood Angels Collection 2. And it's $64 for the 8 models that come in this box set. You'll get 1 each of the 6, and then you get 2 extras. This is, again, one of those situations where I probably would not hesitate on these. $64 for this is kind of a lot when you think about the fact that it's 8 Space Marines, but these always sell out really quick and are always tougher to get later on if you decide you want a specific guy or you wanted to pick this box set up. So again, one of those items where if you're interested in it, I wouldn't hesitate. So that is it for this week's pre-releases. I am super excited. Can't wait to get a hold of the Arks of Omen Abaddon book and then the chapter approved Arks of Omen Grand Tournament Mission Pack. That is all that I picked up out of this set right here. I was tempted by some of the Space Marine Battle Forces, but I already went in on the Battle Forces for Christmas. I also think this Aberrant Ghoul King is pretty cool, but to tell you the truth, I already have a Aberrant Ghoul King, and I don't think I really want one just like sitting on a throne. Again, I think this would be cool for a diorama or something like that, and maybe one day in the future I will regret that I didn't pick them up, but for now it's a pass. Overall, some nice box sets, some nice stuff coming out this week. Let me know what you think, what you're going to be picking up. Let me know if you're one of those people who missed out on the second Kill Team Shadow Vaults and now is kind of in a weird place with the Arks of Omen set. Because now not only do you need that $60 book if you want to play, but you have to figure out a way to get a second set of terrain or buy another Kill Team box. Always like to hear back from you guys. Special thanks to CMO Games for sponsoring the video. Check out the link in the description to save 15% with free shipping in the continental United States. That's it for today. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and I'm out of here.